Hello everybody, and this is Jebro, and this is a Guardian Bunker support build for anyone out there wanting to play it in SPVP. You could probably use this for World v World as well to a degree. Obviously some traits and whatnot are a little bit different here and there. So I'm just going to quickly go over the traits first of all. So this is my Guardian Jebro. And I've gone for a 0-1-6-6-1 trait spread. So this is pretty typical build, which was built up by guys like Tage and other popular Guardians. And this has been around for a while, and it's still being used at the moment in this new patch. So I'm going to go through this very, very quickly. I have got the weapons I've got that I've got at the moment are the Mace, the Shield, the Staff. I've gone for a Rune of the Soldier. I've gone for a Magi Amulet. I've also gone for the Sigil of Renewal. I've also gone for the Sigil of Energy. I've also gone for a Sigil of Life and a Sigil of Energy on the Staff. I'm going to go back to that as I describe this build to you. So I've gone for 0 in Zeal. I've gone for 5 for Justice is Blind, so blinding, activating Virtue of Justice. Nearby foes, it makes them blind. So they're going to be missing some attacks. So when you're going for downed people like Guardians and people that do knockbacks or pulls or whatever when they're down, you're going to blind them and you're going to make sure they don't get that attack off, and you can get that down, which is really good for if you haven't got any stability or anyone else that can actually go for that down. You can get that blind on that one target and that can secure that for you, which is very, very good and useful. Going over to Valorous Defense, which you gain Aegis when you're struck while below the health threshold. That's going to basically block one of those attacks when you get to 50%, which is really good as well. I'm going to go to Strength in Numbers, which is one of the traits. I've actually used this to replace Purity, which is number 5 in this first trait area, and basically it gives nearby allies toughness based on your effective level. So it gives the full 150 toughness to anyone near me. An interval 3 seconds. Basically, it works for 3 seconds and then reapplies itself. So it's really, really, really good. Extra 150 toughness, especially because I've gone for the Magi Amulet rather than the toughness one, which is with the clerics, is going to help me as well. So it's a really, really nice trait. I've changed it up for Purity because Purity I feel isn't that strong compared to how much this is going to help in team fights. And also I do remove quite a lot of conditions as it is, and I have gone for Purging Flames there as well, so to get a little tiny bit extra, which is really, really, really beneficial, and has a lower cooldown as well, which is, it's got the 35 considering against the Save Yourselves 48 I do believe it is, with the Shouts cooldown, Shouts recharge rate, sorry. So going then to the Courageous Return. Virtue of Courage is recharged when you rally, so when you rally that gets recharged, and you're going to gain, I'm going to gain that protection as well, and when I pop that back up, which is associated with the Inspired Virtue trait there. So basically that's pretty nice. And Mace of Justice, I do have Mace equipped at the moment. If I switch over, you can see on my heal stat there is 1.472. If I go over to my staff, you can see the healing is significantly lower. So I want to be dodge rolling, and I want to be doing a lot of my heals if I can while I'm in the Mace and also the Shield as well in that set of weapons. So that gives me an extra 250 healing power, which is really good. Like I said, I will dodge. If I dodge twice in there, I will do more healing than if I'm in my staff, because that trait will not be very useful, and it also increases my damage, which, while isn't a massive big deal, it does help a little bit to put some kind of pressure on the target, which is good. Obviously gaining might when you block attacks is good, because I'm going to be blocking, especially with that, and some of my other abilities. So it's not a massive big issue. I don't really need to get might, but still it's a nice little bit for extra damage. So applying a boon to allies heals you. So if I'm applying boons to allies, i.e. like stability, protection and regen, anything like swiftness or might stacking, or even protection from the shield there as well, and also the regen heal from the symbol of faith, things like that, you know, anything it's going to be healing me. So any kind of boons I'm giving away are going to be doing a lot of healing to myself, which is why I really like Altruistic Healing. It's a bit more selfish, but it really helps you to survive in those big team fights, and 84 being the base of that heal. I've gone for Vigorous Precision, which is why I've gone for the Magi's amulet, as you can currently see here. It's got precision on it rather than power, and the reason I'm trying this out, and it's a bit of a test really, is because of this minor trait. So I want to try and crit more to get more endurance regeneration, which to me makes sense. I'm not sure if it works 100%, but it seems to be working quite nicely. My endurance uptime seems to be a bit more, even though I've got a lot of endurance. Things like the endurance sigil to increase my endurance when I swap weapons and la-di-da. So I think this will help quite a lot. I do have 37% crit chance, so that should work quite nicely, I think. And it has done, and I've survived a little tiny bit more with this amulet, although it does take away the toughness. But like I said, strength in numbers increases that toughness back up. So Super Aria reduces recharge on shouts. I do have 2 shouts, which is very important. Selfless Daring, so the end of your dodge roll heals nearby allies. So like I said, there's extra uptime on the Vigor to get your endurance, so you can dodge even more, so you can do even more healing. And also when I'm here doing that, I want to be on my Mace and Shield, so I can actually give more healing out to my friendlies as well. Also when I'm in my Mace and my Shield, if I've done that 2 dodge rolls I can get, and I've got a crit and I can get that endurance back, I could also switch over to my staff, which will then give me even more healing from my Sigil of Renewal, which is the sigil on my Mace. So that actually heals nearby allies when I weapon swap, and I've actually worked to get just under 900 HP to allies basically. It's really good. On top of the dodging, is so much healing, man. It's just absolutely epic basically. It's crazy. The support is just beautiful. It's lovely. I'm not gonna knock it. Not gonna knock it at all. So, the end of the dodge roll heals allies, we're there. Shield of Absorption creates a dome around you that pushes foes back. So basically it's your shield 5. So I've got shield 5 at the moment as well. And I'm going to be knocking back. And also if I use it again, I can get a heal as well off that shield, of course. But it's not the same with that. It's just reactive to a rest. So that's pretty damn good, especially if you knock people off. If you think you're on Battle like Kylo and there's a lot of pressure, if you get that knockback, sometimes you can get the knockback all the way off the actual pillar, so someone going down effectively gives you an extra knockback, which is quite nice. Elusive power isn't really a big issue because hopefully I won't be that low on endurance, but if I am, I'll try and do some damage where I possibly can. Pure Voice is very good as well. Allies affected by shouts have conditions converted to boons. So when I'm using those shouts and I convert conditions, and I will be converting those conditions, into boons, it is very, very nice. Also, Inspired Virtue is a very lovely minor trait, giving you those boons per those virtues. So for Virtue of Justice, sorry, I'll go back onto that, I will get Might, 3 Might stacks. I will also get Regen if I go to Virtue of Resolve, and if I go to Virtue of Courage, I will be getting Protection, like we were talking about earlier of one of the other traits. So very, very useful load of traits there. So basically, that's the trait rundown. I'm going to quickly go through some of these abilities, which probably will help just newer players, really, if you're not too sure. Just a couple of reasons why I chose these, which are normal. So basically, we need focus. A lot of people do forget that when you use this, you do recharge all your virtues, as it says there, but people do really forget that. So if you do use that, make sure that you actually just use these. Even if you spam them off, it's going to help you or your allies that are around you. So if you're in this position where you have 0 of these up, basically you're going to want to just pop that up, not exactly when you've got none of them, but if you're in trouble, and then you're going to get that full, you're going to get all the cooldown back on those. It's just going to automatically come back. You can use them again, and you're good, you know. So people do forget that that does recharge. One thing that I'm using that a lot of people aren't using really in this build is the Purging Flames. So that does remove 3 conditions when you use it. And it also does give a burning field for 5 seconds, which obviously if you blast, you will get Might stacks. So that's pretty sweet. I do like that, just giving a little bit of extra support with that stacking of the might, and obviously it does do some burning damage as well, so you can actually do a tiny bit of extra damage, which helps, but obviously it's not a massive amount, of course, but it does help to maybe potentially get some of those little pets down that are giving you a little bit of trouble. So that's pretty much the build. I mean, it's not a massive update on it, but I did want to change it a little bit just because of this patch. If you let me know in the comments below how you feel about this build, how it can be improved, whether or not you think the Magi amulet is a good change, whether or not you think the Sigil Renewal change is good as well, because of course that was updated from a 10% influence from your healing power to a 40%, so it does heal considerably more than it did before. Also, whether or not Sigil of Life is the best way to go, or if you've tried to go for Sigil of Benevolence, and you feel that that is a better way to go, then give me a shout as well, because I've actually been playing with both, and I still need to do a bit of testing, but let me know how you feel, or if there's any other benefits or something I've missed, which is quite likely because there's it's a lot to this build, more to this build than people think. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this. If you're a new player, I hope this helps you as well get into SPVP and solo queues. I will see you very soon. I have been Jebro, and I'll hopefully upload a gameplay video to go with this as well. Thank you very much, guys, and I will see you very soon.